I'm sitting here at the airport getting ready to jump on a flight, but I had a few minutes and there's been a concept that's been rolling around in my head and it just kind of won't let go. And it started, I guess, probably right around the 4th of July. And this concept's about freedom. And I know it's kind of played right now. We just got done with 4th of July. They want to talk about Independence Day and American freedom. And you're going to hear a lot about freedom and liberty on the campaign trail and with the coming national conventions. But this is what I wanted to talk about. We are not living as Americans in a country. And we are not a nation. A lot of people don't understand that. See, someplace like England is a country. It's a land where English people are from. Scotland is a country. France is a country. There's historical bloodlines that are there. There's a language, there's a culture, and the nation is the people who live in that country. It's a nation of people, and the country is the land. But the United States, while we think of ourselves as a country or a nation, we're very different than basically anywhere else, because what we're really living in is we're living in a philosophical experiment. It's an experiment. That point is lost on so many people. And I think that it's why there's pablum that the United States is the last best chance for humanity. I think the concept of the United States is the last best chance for humanity. So yeah, July 4th, 1776. So, just over 240 years ago, the Declaration of Independence got signed. But on August 10th was when it reached England, and they actually knew that the colonies had decided they were out. And what was the basis? What's the basic rationale and the concept behind it? And we know that it wasn't just a justification because it's included in the Constitution. What is it? Most Americans don't know it. We're not taught it. Okay, yes. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and they're endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights. Among those, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. But they're not talking about all men created equal as in, everybody's the same height, everybody's the same strength, everybody is just as smart or talented as one or the other person. Obviously not. These are brilliant men who are looking around their world, and I know they're not seeing people as brilliant as they are. And look, Thomas Jefferson, writer of the Declaration of Independence, owned slaves. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, but it's hypocritical. They dismiss it. But hypocrisy doesn't eliminate the principle, right? If I say stealing is bad, and that's a principle, me going and stealing makes me a hypocrite, but me going and stealing doesn't mean that stealing is good. You understand what I'm saying? So the principle is that all men are created equal in that all men are born with these certain rights and liberties. And they're not given to us by men. They're given to us by nature, by our creator, whether that's a God, whether that's natural selection, whether that's just the course of history, whether that's the universe, whether that's Gaia, whether that's fucking Shiva, whoever, it doesn't matter. There's not one man, in other words, that is more human at birth than another man, which is important when you're dealing with a king. This is a fucking reset button. This is a group of people living in a place with not having cultural ties on anything, who are hitting the reset button on political theory and a political idea. And the idea is this. And it's something that you need to know right now and you need to think about. The simple idea is this. You are free. You are free. You are a free creature. You don't need to ask permission from another person to do anything that doesn't hurt other people. That's what the idea was. The idea was that we're born into a situation. And we're born under a government. And there's rules under that government. And that's what these guys were saying. They were saying, no. We're born free. You're born not beholden to a government. You're born not beholden to a set of rules. Because what do they say? They say, in that same document, governments are instituted among men to defend those rights, to defend those liberties. That the only reason a government exists is to make sure that everybody can do what they want to do. That one group can't stop another group from wearing the clothes that they want to wear, worshiping the God that they want to worship, saying what they want to say, expressing themselves creatively as they want to express themselves. That one group can't just run into another group's house and take their shit, or search them. Or that one group can't just punish somebody without a trial. All of these things, and what I'm reciting, the Bill of Rights, this is in the Constitution. But here's the thing, and this is what I mean by an understanding that you are free. During these conventions, you're going to hear a lot about First Amendment rights because they're going to talk about the protesters, and Second Amendment rights because they're going to talk about guns, owning guns, the right to bear arms, Second Amendment. But here's the deal. They're going to refer to them as First Amendment rights. They're going to refer to them as Second Amendment rights. Let's talk about, there's 10 amendments in the Bill of Rights. Let's talk about the Ninth Amendment, because that's the one that really, you've never heard of it. There's never been a court case about it, or if there has, it's obscure. Why? Why? Because what does the Ninth Amendment say? The Ninth Amendment, in essence, says, look, we've written out some rights in these amendments, but just because we haven't written out a particular right, it doesn't mean that we're not saying that people don't have them. Holy shit. So that means your right to free speech doesn't come from the First Amendment. It comes from God. It comes from your Creator. It's just enumerated in the First Amendment because they knew, well, government's going to try to take this one away. This is one they always take away. So all of those rights, the Second Amendment doesn't give you shit. It doesn't give you the right to own a gun. It enumerates that you already had a right to have a weapon. That was a human right. The First Amendment doesn't give you the right to practice whatever religion you want. It says human beings already had that right. They were endowed by their Creator with it. And it says that by enumerating rights, by saying, okay, you have a Second Amendment right, that's not to say that there aren't other rights. Well, what the hell are the other rights? The other rights are everything. That's what the experiment is. The experiment is what happens when you put a bunch of free people together. And the only thing the government is there to do is to settle disputes so that there's not violence, to protect so that an outside group doesn't come in, but the rest of it is, let's let free people do what they're going to do so long as they don't hurt each other. So long as the action that you take is voluntary with another person and you take it peacefully, right? And that's in the First Amendment. Peaceful assembly, the right to peaceably assemble, to get together in peace. And most of our interactions are getting together in peace. Most people are peaceful. You can walk into Times Square, the Las Vegas Strip, Disneyland. Are you going to see a fight? Really? I mean, maybe. It'd be so fucking rare that it'd be out on all, like, on, people would be tweeting it out and Instagram videos. Because we aren't fighting each other like that. You are free. You don't get your rights from the government. You don't get your rights from your religion. It's not given to you by another human being. That's the experiment. And you know what? That's what we need to grasp again. However you want to interpret it, and however you want to live your life, so long as you're not inflicting violence on another person, so long as you're not initiating violence, of course you can defend yourself if it comes at you. That's your right as well. But that's it. Government's not here to take care of you. They're not here to educate you. They're not here to make sure that your life is good. They're not here to make sure any of that shit. They're here to make sure we institute government, and as the Declaration of Independence says, it draws its justification, its just powers from the consent of the governed. And the guys who are writing this got to sign the Declaration of Independence or sign the Constitution. Well, shit, if I can write the laws that I'm going to live by to the point where I can debate them for 3 years and then I can sign it, well, I'll fucking live under those. But we don't think that. The government's not here to be your parent. Be an adult. Be an adult. Grow up. The president's not here to make your life better. The president's supposed to be here to make your life free. Free. And free from his own influence. Or her. So that's what I had to get off my chest. And that's what you can carry around, because that's the basis. Because either you are or you aren't. Either you are free, and if you have rights, then others have rights. And if you want people to respect your rights, you have to respect the rights of others. And that means not bringing into power people who don't respect rights. And that's not just the rights of your fellow citizens of the United States. That's the rights of every human being. Because being born into a country isn't what gave you those rights. They were endowed. You're endowed by your Creator with those rights. And every human being is. What happens? What happens when you decide you're free? And when you look into the world and you see a bunch of free people whose minds are in chains, whose bodies are free, whose souls are free, but whose minds are in bondage. Like Bob Marley said, you got to break the chains of mental slavery. You're in mental slavery. But you can make the choice. Are you free or are you not? No matter what anyone else says, no matter what guns are held to your head, no matter what carrots or sticks are thrown your way, are you free as a principal or are you a slave?